Hey friends, so I've had recently a ton of questions about Master Math curriculum. So I'm going to kind of give you a peek at my first unit and walk you through the different parts of Master Math and why I use Master Math. So I've been using this method of teaching math for probably 10 or more years, but I've kind of like run into some problems with it, buying products from other people and seasonal things and trying to piece it together. And finally this year I decided I was going to do something about it and make it exactly the way I wanted it. So Master Math stands for Manipulatives, Apply Skills, Small Group, Technology, Enrichment, Review. So those are the main components of it. It also does have a mini whole group lesson. So we begin with a mini whole group lesson and then we move into 5 rotations. And we're in those rotations approximately 8 minutes, and then I allow for about 2-minute transition time. So Unit 1 is Building Number Sense, Master Math, and this is the file where you would open first. Begin here, and this is actually the sheet I use for my binder cover. And then inside are some directions, the binder sleeve, and then it kind of describes what Master Math is and goes through and explains the different components, how I set up my smartboard, and then how I do my rotations. And then here you get a peek at all the units and the order in which they go and the standards that are covered. And then here is the schedule for Unit 1, so you can see there are 8 lessons for Unit 1 on Building Number Sense. And then I provide like the standard page, so it has a standard that you'll be covering. And these are little posters that I hang in my classroom on an ICANN board for Master Math, so the little posters and some other activity number chart, we use that a lot. And then there's some bonus features. So these are the little cards. You can see like small group, technology, review, manipulatives, enrichment, and apply skills. So those are one option, or here are some other options of little signs that you can display for the rotation process. And then here are the lesson plan templates that I have. So these are blank, and you would print them off and fill in each component, or you can use the ones that I provide for you that are already done for you. So, and then there's some credits at the end. So this is the begin here part. So when Master Math starts, we all meet up at the smartboard, and I provided these lessons on the smartboard format and a PDF format. So I'm going to just click through here. They're just good starting points to kind of lead into the lesson, these notebook files. So you can see I kind of just read and go over them. There's some questions within them. So do you see down here, how many do you see? So we kind of answer the questions and kind of go through. And then this lesson's like the 3rd or 4th lesson in Unit 1. It's about tallies. So we're reviewing like how to use tallies. And then once I've kind of introduced the topic for the day and we've gone through all the questions and the discussion, I do include like what you'll be doing at each rotation. So here's just a peek at like the 3rd lesson. So this is manipulatives. So the kids are going to be using a 10-frame mat. They're going to draw bubblegums balls, and then they're going to, I use cubes to fill out the mat there. So manipulatives for me is movement. It can be moving actual manipulatives. It can be making puzzles. It can be moving around the room with a scoot. It's just some sort of movement in math that has to do with that, whatever the topic is. And also, like, I do want to say that I use a theme for each math unit. So the theme for this number sense unit was gumballs, and you'll see that throughout. So apply skills. So in this station, it is sometimes a game or an independent activity where they're applying what they're learning. So here they're going to roll the dice, and then they're going to tally the number. So it's called roll and tally. And their practice, this is all about tallies. So small group is where they would meet with me, and this is usually the paper pencil activity, and we work together. And this is where I see, do they get the skill? Do they understand it? Is it too easy? Is it too hard? It usually doesn't take too long. As you can see, we're just counting tallies on this page. Technology is offered in two ways. So in every single unit, I either have Google Slides. So if you have Chromebooks, or I believe you can do that on iPads if you have Google. And then I also have them in Boom Decks, which is a program that you do have to purchase. I think it's like $20 for the year. But then you can, if you have these Boom cards, you can just assign them to your kids. I like Boom a little bit better because it gives me data. It tells me how the kids did on the activities. So I do provide two different options for technology. And then Enrichment. So Enrichment is not a station the students visit. It is a station where they can go to if they finish something and they want the challenge of the enrichment. So I always discuss what it is, and then it's kind of a good time for me to see who's pushing themselves. Some of your lower kids you'll find will kind of go to that, and you become very proud of them, obviously, but it's also a time where you can just enrich them. So you could also set up like a group. Your small group could just be an enrichment group, and they wouldn't even do the regular activity. You could just do the enrichment activity. It depends on my year how I set that up, but normally enrichment's just a station that they can go visit if they finish early, or if I feel like they don't need to do a skill, I can just say go get enrichment and we'll work on that. Review. So this is review for the first chapter, first unit. As it gets into, I think, unit 3, it becomes more of like a math box review. So I feel it's super important, like just because you've taught a skill, we need to revisit it, because then it keeps their brain fresh. And if they didn't get it the first time, then they have the opportunity to get it throughout the year. So review is usually like 8 to 10 boxes of review, but because this is unit 1, we don't have a ton of skills to review that are first grade. So it's kind of basic. So I just took you through the Smart Notebook slide that I would share with my class, but somebody had specifically asked, what do the lesson plans look like? So I provide blank lesson plans that you can pick and choose the materials however you want to do them, whatever order, but this is what is provided in the unit. So I'm just going to click through here. So you can see it says Unit 1, Lesson 1, and it goes with Smart Notebook Mini Lesson 1. Do that first. So it doesn't have to be Smart Notebook. You can use a PDF file too. And then I have the word Master down here, and then Manipulatives, and I provide like pictures of the papers or the activities that you're doing. And then I just have small little words. So what I do is I create a binder, slip the cover in the binder, and then I put the lesson plans in the binder, and behind them I put answer keys if I have them or if I make them. So then I just pull out the binder and go to that lesson for the day. So I'll show you a ton more videos on organization once I get back to my school, and I'll actually organize this whole unit so you can see how it's done. But I will just flip through. This is kind of the lesson plans for Unit 1. And at the very last day, whenever we're done, it's assessment day, we do an assessment, and we always do a fun little craft because I black out about an hour and 10 minutes for Master Math. So it doesn't take an hour and 10 minutes to do the assessment. So I like to do a fun little craft for whatever the theme is. And then they get to take that home with their little assessment. So those are what the lesson plans look like. And just share with you, if you buy a unit, what all comes in there. Okay, this is a zipped file. And so you're going to get multiple products. So you're going to get the begin here. I've already taken you through that. Apply skills. You'll get all the games that go with that unit. The craft. You'll get a separate file of enrichment activities. A separate file of manipulatives. You'll get the mini lessons that you teach first, either in a PDF version or a Smart Notebook version. The recording sheets are what are used to keep track of how they did on the assessments. So there's recording sheets. Then the review, you'll get a whole section on review. You can use this rotation schedule to create your own rotations. If you want to use it in Smart Notebook, I have it in both versions. Then you'll get all the small group lessons. You'll get the technology lessons and Unit 1 Master Math lesson plans. So that's what's included in this bundle of math goodies. So that's a quick peek at Master Math. Look for blog posts, videos, and more this summer coming to you soon.